Sugaman for the Sugaman's podcast, August 28, 2023. How's everybody doing? Didn't post a new podcast today, today's Monday that I'm recording this. I forgot to post a new podcast. I've just been a little busy. I was a little lazy, to be honest, but yeah, just so here I am. But how's everybody doing? What'd you guys do this weekend? You got any plans for the Labor Day coming up? Nice little 3-day weekend, huh? Maybe go out to the lake? Maybe go pick up on some honeys, I don't know. Go to the bar, whatever you like to do. Stay home. You sleep in for 12 hours. Whatever makes you feel good. Oh, God. That's me. Going off this side of the road. Do most of my recordings in the car. Haven't been able to do that for a while because I got a new job. I started back at my old job. I'm now estimating for a collision center. So if you need an estimate, hit me up. Obviously, I'm not going to give you a discount, but I can estimate anything you want. Car collision wise, other than that, you're kind of on yourself. Just there's a couple things I wanted to address today. Oh, dude, I can't believe people who fucking starting this job. I forgot how many people don't know the year, make, and model of their vehicle, which is the weirdest thing ever. I don't know. Every car I've bought now, I've always been it's a 88 Oldsmobile, 2007 Chevy Cobalt, 90, well, maybe the only one I didn't, my 98 Ranger, that's the only one I think it was 98 or 96, couldn't remember. But, and then I had 2001 Honda Accord, now I got a 2016 Hyundai Veloster. I don't understand people who buy cars and they're just I don't know. I know it's a Lexus. I'm okay. That's all you got for me, huh? It was I asked them their name, and they're just dude, totally, I'm drawing a blank here, I don't know. But, imagine if that was the same thing for, houses. What's the year, make, and model of your house? I could never answer that. Be a square house? I don't know. Built in 1972? I don't know. But, yeah. And then, I can't believe, dude, there's people still wearing masks. Religiously. Or whatever you feel whatever you feel like you're doing it for. What are you doing it for? I've already proven that you're making yourself more unhealthy by wearing the mask. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. If you wear a mask, you're stupid. And if you don't wear a mask, you're probably also stupid. Just like me. Because we're all just stupid. But, no, yeah. That's my opinion, dude. If you're wearing a mask, what are you scared of? If you're sick, cool. Don't get me sick. Wear a mask. But if you're not sick, and you're that scared of getting sick, just stay home. You don't need to be in society. You could work from home. Or do something, come on. Right. Yeah, shit's stupid. Oh, and, my friend, it seems like a lot of my friends are, 60-year-old men or something. I don't know how YouTube works. They're they'll come back to me, it's multiple people, it's not just one person. They'll come to me and talk to me about my YouTube video in through messages. They'll message me and I'm there's a comment section, right? You leave all your comments there and I'll see them and then I can respond that way. That way my video gets more interactions, but I don't know, they don't understand that concept. And if your excuse is you don't have a YouTube channel, all you need is an email. It doesn't cost you anything to have a YouTube channel. And it makes it so you can set your age so you don't have to be oh, this video is restricted and you have to hit yes or no. you just have a YouTube channel and tell them your age, they're like, oh, this isn't restricted to you because we know that you're an adult. And then then you can subscribe, then you can, then you'll get all the notifications when the new episode comes out. And it's a little weird to like have a conversation that's like not on the subject. Like, I don't know, like it's just like, it's kind of like, oh, I heard what you did last night at the party, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's like, just, I don't know, it's better if you just leave the comments on the video, because then I'll know exactly what you're talking about, because they'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, don't do, like, this, that, like I won't know what the hell you're talking about, because I just sit here and ramble, dude, so sometimes I don't even remember what I put on the video. So if you leave the comment on the video, it kind of helps me remember what you're talking about. And, yeah. But that's just, if you're listening, which I'm sure some of my friends are, and, yeah, there's nothing, no hard feelings or anything. It's just like, use YouTube for what it's for. And if not, it doesn't really bother me either way. It's just, if you got feedback, that's just the best way to give me feedback, is through the videos on the comments. And, yeah, it would just be much appreciated. That's my only gripe. Yeah, I'm not trying to, like, be like, you guys don't understand me. I just was like, just more of an information kind of thing, if you don't have a YouTube account, all you need is an email. Just sign up right then and there. Then you can like, subscribe, and have a whole list of people that you like listening to. Have a whole plethora of podcasts that you can kind of Rolodex through, But we got, so this weekend didn't really do much. I just hung out with my cousin for a little bit. Our cousins for a little bit at their house. Just stayed at home and nerded out playing Fable the whole weekend. And I beat it like way quicker than I thought I was going to. But it also was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And I don't know. Because I played that game when I was a little kid, and yeah, it just seemed like it was a lot cooler, a lot better game when I was younger. It's still cool, but it just doesn't hold the same nostalgia as it doesn't have the same feeling I had when I first played it, so it's just but it was fun. And I beat it, and I was like, this is the first game I've actually beaten in a while, and I can just kind of like take a break from video games, because like I always play video games and I have the fucking FOMO, the fear of missing out, because like every video game has like a million different options that you could do, like go explore this way, go explore that way. It's very seldom that you find a video game where it's just straightforward, like this is the objective, go do it, and that's it. So like my ADHD brain is like, what do I go do? Like, I want to go do this, and then, oh, squirrel, let's see something cool over here. Oh, something cool over here. It just gets very distracting. So yeah, I'm glad that like that game has a lot of side shit too, and I could have done the side shit, but like I was just like, I just want to beat a video game I don't think I've beaten a video game in years, just because there's so many video games that I can play now that I can just keep cycling through. Like once I get bored, like when I was back in the day, like if I got bored of a video game, I'd put it down and I'd go outside and go do something, which is what I should fucking do now. But instead, I put down that video game and I try to find another video game to play. And it's like, because I have like probably over 100 video games on my computer, and then plus whatever's on my PlayStation. There's just too many options. I'm like, dude, I have way too many options. It's like such a first world problem. Like, I have too many video games to play. It's like, so yeah, that's when it becomes a problem. Like haven't been playing for a while, like for a couple days, and then I was just like, I'm gonna play Fable this weekend, just have some fun. I beat that, and it's like I don't feel like playing anything anymore, so I just stopped and just watched TV. Went to bed. I watched this horror movie last night. It's hardly a horror movie. What the fuck was it called? It was like Things We See and Hear, something like that. And it was such an awful, like, not like it wasn't an awful movie, but like like the premise of it, like this guy, like he takes him and his wife and his daughter to move to this house. It's always some house in the middle of fucking nowhere, and it's always got a story, and like the husband doesn't tell the wife that people died in that house, and I don't know. She's like, and it's that chick Amanda Seyfried or whatever her name is, the chick from Mean Girls, the blonde one. She's like, there's a 30% chance that it's already raining right now, and she's like grabbing her tits. Yeah, she's hella funny. But she like plays a bulimic chick. Dude, it was such a disturbing movie, just like the premise about it, because the husband's like such a fucking perverted psycho. He like cheats on her with like this I don't even know if she's 18-year-old girl, like from another ranch like down the road. And then he's always just hitting on just random girls, like not fucking being faithful. He's just being hella scummy and grimy. It's just so cringy to watch. I'm just like, ugh. And then because it's like, I've never met a person who's actually like that. Like, of course, if I did, I'd be hanging out with the wrong fucking people, but it's like no one, I don't know. The way they portray him, he's just like, so as a matter of fact, like, yeah, I'm a pervert, but like, you love it. It's like, no, dude, you're fucking weird. And, I don't know, it has like some horror element to it, to where like the spirits like are still in the house. But like, honestly, I was expecting way more. Like, it was just a way more of like a story about a shitty family than it was like a horror movie. It was just like, it was weird. I'm not gonna ruin the ending, but like for 2 hours I was kind of like, really? I thought you were gonna end it? Okay. It was super anticlimactic. Like, there was no real jump scares that I was waiting for. Like, all you really see, like, the only jump scare you get is like someone standing in the background of a scene, and it's like a ghost in the background. You're like, oh my god! And it's there for like half a second. That's about it. Like, I was trying to watch a horror movie that, like, I don't know, made me feel something, feel some actual fear. So maybe I gotta find another horror movie to watch. If anyone has any suggestions for horror movies, let me know in my comments below, and I will consider watching some of them. I still haven't taken that trip that I've been saying I want to take up towards Ione and Cameron Park. I just, on my weekends, I just freaking totally blank, and I just sit at home. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I just get so super lazy. I need someone to kick my ass into gear. Like, let's go do something. I need to kick my own ass into gear. But I've been trying to go to either Natural Bridges, which is a cool little cavern that you can go swim through, or go up to Pinecrest, or drive up to Cameron Park, or, you know, that area. Something. Just need to get out of the house more often. And I've been thinking, I was like, hey, it takes me only, if I were to take my bike to work, like my bicycle, it would take me about 30 minutes to get to work. So I'm thinking I might start trying to bike to work to save some gas, save some money. But I'm not sure, but then I have to spend my lunches at work, which is the only thing. So I might spend money on lunch instead because of that. But I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, because I need to do something to exercise and save money too. So, ooh, and there's got skydiving right here just past, but there was indoor skydiving in Roseville, and I was like, I gotta try that out. That looks fun. I mean, at least if I fall, like the furthest I fall there is like, I don't know, like 100 feet, if that. I ain't trying to fucking actually skydive. And we got this diesel trying to go around another diesel because he thinks he's super fast, but he's not. Speaking of fast, I watched Fast and the Furious last night. Fucking Brian O'Connor. I fell asleep to it after I put on that horror movie. Dude, I love those movies. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, it sucks that Paul Walker died. But yeah, the first 3 Fast and the Furiouses, those are my favorite. After that, I just kind of fell off. I was like, whatever. Now there's like fucking 10 of them. It's like, come on. If he was still alive, I would think he would have been like, alright guys, I think we're just beating a dead horse now. Like, let's make another fucking movie. But that's like his role, dude. He was good at always doing that. Like Joyride, he was the same thing pretty much. He's just always a wheelman, action star. He was good at it though. He's pretty good at driving. And that's why people say that he died, because he wasn't driving. And I don't know who people is. I am. That's probably me. I'm people. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, those movies are hella funny. Like, just the shit they say. And just hella early 2000s lingo. And then, like, the shit they try to talk about, like, when he opens up his fucking hood, he's like, oh my god, you got more NOS in there, enough to blow up the whole neighborhood. It's like, bro, you can't see his NOS tanks. You just see some line leading to the fucking engine, and you're like, oh, he's got NOS. You don't know how much fucking NOS he's running. Like, the shit they fucking say is so dumb. And then everyone's argument, oh, they shift 12 times, is if, you gotta kind of pay attention. In the very beginning, he does shift, I think, 1 time too many. He shifts like 6 times or something like that. Either 5 or 6 times. And then he stops and spins out. And then in the race, they shift about 5 times. And it seems like, but it's like the race takes like a whole like fucking 2 minutes, and it's a quarter mile or something like that. That's the most ridiculous part. It's like, this is a quarter mile race, dude. You guys took like 2 minutes. But the whole shifting part, like, especially in Fast and Furious 2 is another one where they kind of say that. But if you realize, they're not doing just a straight line race in number 2, especially, like, they're going around corners, so they got a downshift, and then they got a re-upshift, so, like, that's why they're shifting so many times. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand that. It's like, come on. It's like, if you go around a corner, you gotta slow down, so you're gonna have to shift again. But, yeah. I think it is. There is times when you're like, all right, that's not realistic. Like, I think it's Fast 5. He like jumps out of a moving car, catches Letty, and then like slams into another car on the other side of the freeway that's going the opposite direction, and like gets out of it unharmed. It's like, bro, you would be destroyed if you would fucking do that in real life. Like, and they're dragging giant tanks throughout the fucking whole town with Dodge Chargers of all things, like 2 of them. And then at first it takes 2 of them to get it going, but once they got the momentum, they just use the one to swing it around. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know how much those tanks weigh, but come on. But yeah, it's just so funny. And then they make a whole identical fucking tank. Or identical fucking, not tank, vault. I keep saying tank. They make an identical vault, drop it out of a fucking truck, and then hook back up to it, and like, oh, here's the fake one, like, to fool the Rock, and he's like, ha ha ha, you son of a bitch has got me. And it's like, what the fuck? And then, like, he becomes, like, friends with them. I don't know, dude, the whole movie thing is so fucking weird. And then they try to make it connect, like, I think it's like Fast 7 is connected to fucking Tokyo Drift. It makes no sense. Like, everything that takes place, so it goes 1, 2, and then it goes 3, and it's like a whole completely different timeline, and then they go 4, 5, 6, 7, and then apparently all that happened before number 3, which that's a huge gap in the story, because like you see they have different technology throughout 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then they go back in time to Fast and the Furious 3 where they all had flip phones. And they're like, nope, yeah, all the events that happened 4, 5, 6, and 7 or whatever happened before Tokyo Drift, even though we had smartphones in 5, 6, and 7, and then now we're back to flip phones all of a sudden in number 3. It's like, okay, that makes no sense, but it's all for writing purposes. They got giant holes in their story, but it's still a good watch. I still watched them. Still great movies, but, like, some of it you're like, okay. Like, I think it's Fast 7, like, Dominic just deadlifts the fucking back of a car. And it's like, okay, dude. And then they drive said car through not through one building, but through 2 skyscrapers. And then somehow stop it in time. I don't know, dude. It's just so dumb. It's so funny. Fast and Furious logic. Oh, in the beginning, dude, my favorite. Like, when they're driving the first one, they're driving the black Hondas, all with green fucking neon, and they're fucking stealing stereo equipment and TVs. They're, like, super fucking dated for today's day and age. And, like, they're able to go under the fucking diesel. I have never seen one diesel that high in real life. I don't think they make them. Like, no matter how low that Honda is, like, I don't think your car can... Like, we don't have diesels that tall off the ground. But, again, makes for good movies. And I've seen that in, like, multiple movies, too. Where, like, the diesel goes over the tiny car. It's like, I don't think diesels are that big. But, that's my rant for the Fast and Furious. Dude, these truck drivers are still the same, just hanging out in the fucking middle lane like it's their favorite hangout spot. Dude, I'm so tired of looking at the roads of California. They look like shit every day. Like, I'm tired. Like, what happened to the California cleanup thing.org that I kept seeing on the side of the roads? Like, no one's cleaning anything. I don't ever see those guys on the side of the road. And there's just more and more trash that piles up. Never gets fucking cleaned up. Go have prisoners do some useful stuff. Have them work out in the sun. If it's cruel and unusual punishment, well, fuck them. They are in jail for a reason. Well, but honestly, there's a lot of people who are in jail for no reason. But that's neither here nor there. But it's like, you gotta figure out something, dude. Like, clean this place up. Hire a fucking facility that'll just clean up the sides of the roads at night when no people are driving. And when come morning, the whole road's clean. Like, I don't get it. It's not that hard. We have spotlights. We can work in the dark. Set up cones and all that. Like, it's doable. They don't want to spend the money on it. It's weird. I'd rather send money to other countries that don't fucking need it or don't care that we're helping. So, you know what it is. It is what it is. Just make our stuff. That's why no one wants to fuck with our dollar, because it means nothing anymore. Just completely meaningless currency. But for us, it means something. I mean, shit. I mean, it buys me stuff. It's able to make me live, apparently. All currency is meaningless, honestly. It's like, just give me this for that. Now it's yours. Okay. It's a barter system. Big old field over there, damn. Yeah, sorry for the silence. I just get a little distracted. Oh, look what we got here. We got more hazards. The only hazard I see is police officers sucking at life. Suck at their job. Highway patrol, suck on a knob. Highway patrol is only people who's ever pulled me over. Well, actually, I got pulled over by a Manteca cop one time because my friend flicked his cigarette out the window after I specifically told him don't do it. And then just so happened to be the cop was right behind us. But he was cool. He let us go. I think it was because my friend was black and the officer was black, and I had like a little black moment to like, hey, bro. He's like, you shouldn't be doing that. And he's like, I know. And, I'm like, they were just like, kind of dapped each other up. It's like, all right, stay cool, man. No, they didn't dap each other up, but he's like, he's like, you shouldn't be doing that. And he's like, they just had a connection, or maybe I'm just, maybe that guy was just cool, and he just fucking saw that my friend was just being a dumbass and saw that I told him no, and like, yeah, he was just a cool guy. But I mean, I would think that my chances were a little bit better because they were brothers from another mothers. But yeah, I told him, like, bro, don't fucking flick cigarettes out of my car. What are you doing? And then, but yeah, CHP's the only people who's ever pulled me over. Fucking one for speeding, which I was barely going over, and then he let me go anyways. Two others were speeding, quote unquote, but they're fucking South Dakota cops just fishing. I was going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. Like, bro, I get you only deal with meth heads out here, but fucking do something else with your life. And then the other time was for window tint on fucking CHP. Pulled me over for window tint coming home from Livermore, like the day after I got it installed. And then, like, he just sits there and starts writing the ticket, and like I'm like, hi, what did you pull me over for? Like, I'm just gonna leave if you don't say anything. Like, he's like, oh, I pulled you for window tint. And I'm like, there you go. Fucking announce who you are, announce what you're here for, announce why you pulled me over. Like, I'm not just gonna comply to you because you got fucking red and blue lights on your car. Like, do your fucking job right. Explain to me what I'm being pulled over for. And this is another thing, like, fucking the South Dakota cops are so corrupt. Told me, like, oh, would you mind if I search the vehicle? Or I'm like, I like would mind, because he pulled me over for a speeding ticket. I'd like to just go about my day. And then so he just ignores me and then calls another unit over with the K9. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, so, like, no matter what you ask me, like, it doesn't matter. So, like, I should just remain silent always and just be like, fuck you. That's why I hate pigs, dude. They're not cool people. They're fucking shitty people. Whoever decides, like, I would love to enforce the law. Like, you suck. Like, because I know you're going to enforce it in the way you think the law should be, not the way the fucking actual law is. So stupid. Let's go back to the fucking Wild West days where, like, if someone did me wrong, I could just kill them. And just tell them why I did it, and they'd be like, oh, that's justifiable. You know, he had sex with your wife, you killed him, makes sense. Dude, everyone in California drives like shit too. I'm sure I say it every podcast, they're always on their phone, dude. It's annoying. I'm just holding my phone, I'm not looking at it, I'm not interacting with it. I just don't get it. Oh, dude. It's so funny, like, I posted this the other day, it was just like, it's so weird when, like, people just, like, I probably do it a lot. I probably have already done it within this podcast. I fucking just berate people and make them feel stupid for not knowing how to do something. And when they're, like, when they're genuinely trying to learn something, like, they're not just there to, like, oh, yeah, this is cool, like, oh. No, but, like I try to talk to people about, like, cars and shit. And it's no one, like, in my community or anything. It's, like, just random people. Random people. Like, has no one to do, like, with people I don't even know, like, personally. But, like, I'll, like, ask them shit, like, about their car. Like, if I'm at a car meet or something, be like, oh, would you do this? Or, like, someone said something about a turbo, and I was like, asked them to explain how it worked to me, because I don't know how I didn't know, or I do now, but, like, at first I didn't know how a turbo worked. I didn't know there was two turbines, thought there was just one. Yeah, I don't know. And, like, the way he was explaining it to me, like, just, he was, like, trying to talk hella slow and dumb, like I was, like, a little kid, and I'm like, no, I understand words, like, I just didn't understand how a turbo worked. Like, not everyone knows everything. You gotta start somewhere, bud. So it's like, just teach me. Like, I'm trying to learn. Like it'd be, I would understand, like, if I was sitting there arrogant, like, yeah, I know how a turbo works, fucking, and then, like, go to explain all the wrong shit. But, like, no, I was like, no, I don't really know how it works. Can you tell me? Yeah, like, I love to learn, and I love, like, being around people who, you know, are cool. Like, they, like, try to covet information, like, oh, well, if you don't know, then I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta figure it out yourself. It's like, how the fuck am I gonna figure it out? I guess I can go read, but reading's for fucking dummies. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, just like, come on, dude, like, just help someone out. Be cool for once. But it's like, when you've been doing something for so long, like, for instance, like for me working on cars, like when people ask me basic information about the car, like how do you check your air filter, like that was one of my first questions when I started working on my cars. How do I open my airbox? Like my buddy looked at me and was like, you never done this before? I was like, no, but I want to learn how to do it, so this is what I gotta do. And he showed me, he was cool about it, he was like, there you go. I was like, oh sweet, thanks. But like even then, like people ask me like, how do you check your oil? How do you do this? How do you change your oil? Like, I got buddies now who still will refuse to change their own oil because they're like, oh, I want to make sure the mechanic does it right. I'm like, dude, just watch a video, learn how to do it yourself, save yourself $40. My buddy told me, he's like, all I have is $40 and it's a full synthetic oil change. So I couldn't afford it. I was like, bro, if you would have just did it yourself, you would have gotten your filter and the oil for $40, and it takes you like 10-15 minutes to do the oil change. And you would have been good. But instead, you spent like $10 for them to fill up your oil. Yeah, it's just not good. It's not good for your car. And that's another thing, is like people treat their cars like shit. Like, you're spending thousands of dollars in something that gets you from A to B. Like, you should maintain it. Really maintain it. Don't just like when it starts breaking, then fix it. Like, check everything. Check your tire pressure every now and then. Wash your car. That is another thing of maintenance. Like, if your shit gets dirty, it doesn't work properly and it'll start breaking down. So wash your vehicle, maintain it, do its oil changes, rotate your tires every 5,000, 6,000 miles, do your oil change every 5,000 miles or 4, depending on your vehicle. They say to go to sometimes 6 or 7, but I wouldn't listen to that. Manufacturers just want you to spend money. I want your shit to break down and want you to spend money. That's why most people's transmissions last like about 150,000 miles, because that's how long they think that you're going to own the car before you go, oh, I want another new one. And that's usually right. But if they would just make shit to last, and if people took care of their shit, then it wouldn't be an issue. But yeah, it's always cheaper to maintain than to fix. Just know that. Like, you might think like, oh, I don't have the $60 to do my oil change. Well, you might have, then after you don't get that oil change for 3 months and then your engine fails, you're definitely not going to have $3,000 to get a new car or a new engine, whatever it is. So it's all prioritized, man. If you drive a car, like, take care of it. Take care of your car is like taking care of yourself. Like, it really matters. All those service intervals aren't like just for show. Like go off those for sure, and then just kind of get a feel for it for yourself. Like, if your fluid's black or dirty or thin or not working the way it should, then change it. If you see any seeping or leakage, like, address it. You gotta address it before it becomes a problem. Like, right now I have some seepage on one of my brake lines, and I definitely need to address it because I don't want to die. But that's the thing. It's like, that's another reason why I just want to ride my bike, because I'm like, I don't want to wear my car down anymore. If I wear my bike down, it doesn't really matter because it's just a bike. It's fucking, the parts to replace that, or the parts on that to replace are super cheap compared to parts on cars. So, and 30 minutes exercise back and forth each day, it's good for me. You know, that's something I need to start doing. And then lunch not at home. I mean, that's probably better for me. I just got to make sure I actually like meal prep and make a good lunch for myself every day. That's the only thing that's going to be hard for me, is like finding good shit to eat every day and not spending money going out. But other than that, and I smoke weed, so like I like to fucking go to my house and smoke a bowl and relax. But I guess I could just go away from the office and just go smoke and do the same thing. But I like to go to my house and relax, which is what I'm going to do today when I get back to the office. But yeah, I think that's something I should do. Either that or at least just start getting out after work, go doing something. But if anyone has any ideas for outdoor activities that are kind of low impact but are still fun, let me know. I like going for walks, going for bike rides. I want to get back on my skateboard, but I don't want to fall and hurt myself. But maybe if I just cruise around, it'll be okay. Put my wrist guards on. And that's another thing, too, is if you ever want to learn something new, like skateboarding or sports-wise, don't be afraid to learn or hurt yourself or wear pads, like even if it looks silly. Like, sometimes you just need to wear pads so you don't hurt yourself. Or learn how to fall, which is one thing I have a problem with. So I don't know how to fall, and I fall fucking hard. I don't just fall and roll. Like, I slam, dude. And, yeah. That's one reason I had to stop skateboarding, is because I would just slam so often and hurt myself, and I couldn't even work. And it's like, oh, well, it didn't hurt myself at work, so I can't get paid for it, so. But, yeah. Let's see how long I went today. Hey, 35 minutes. I think this is going to be a new longest solo podcast I've done. I was going to try to make it to 40, but I'm already about to be at the office. But I'm sure I can make it to 40 with some editing. We'll see. We shall see. What was I gonna say? But yeah, I just want to put out my appreciation out there for everyone who actually takes the time out of their day to listen to this podcast, because yeah, it's fun for me. I like talking. If I can't talk to people, I'm going to talk to myself, so I might as well record it and get my ideas out there, get what I think out into the world. And if anyone's got any similar ideas or they want to come join and talk on my podcast, they're more than welcome, dude. Like, I have no qualms or quarrels with anyone, or I'm not a very political person, and I don't like, but I am a very biased person, I guess. Like, no, not really. I'm not closed-minded. Like, I'm very open to hearing other people's sides of things, but I also do believe in what I believe in. And you know, if I disagree with you, I disagree with you, and I will try to argue that point. And if I can't argue it well enough, then I'm probably wrong. So that's just how shit works. I try not to cuss so much in the intros, but you know, it happens. It's just the way I talk. But try to keep the intention. But everyone, please, if you made it this far, like, subscribe. Leave some comments, you know, hit that little bell icon. You get notified every time I come out with an episode. You'll know, hey, Sugaman just came out with a new podcast. I should go listen to it. Laugh a little bit, cry a little bit. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But, yeah, getting off the freeway now, you guys. Have a great rest of your week, okay? Special advice I can give you is, stay away from the homeless camps. They're not... Sorry. I see that there's just this guy on the corner. But, L.A. Modesto, Manteca, what are you doing for the homeless? Probably nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not in on that. I don't really care. I don't know. Just, stay sweet out there. That's what I'm going to keep saying. Even though it's not a Sweet Nothings podcast, y'all just stay sweet out there. Be nice to one another. And stand up for what you believe in. Okay? But that's the podcast. I'll see you guys next Monday. Stay sweet.